Slapz and Trapz Radio, Volume 1, the compilation album presented by C. Austin, available right now on all streaming platforms everywhere.
Listen, man, Video Shop has taken us to
all
some
over the
places.
city, man.
Listen, man, let me tell you something, man. Man, we had, because Duck used to always want to do shit big, you know what I'm saying? So that's why if you look at our pictures at like the event parties and everything, this nigga always dressed up and I'm always kind of dressed down, you know what I'm saying, on some.
You look like you about to slam a nigga.
Hey, look. But this nigga was like,
rabbit, 2 rounds of scrap.
We was having I think it was our first anniversary party. Nigga was like, man, we getting a limousine. Woo, woo. I'm like, man, a limousine, dog. Nigga. He like, no, nigga, we coming that bitch in the limousine. Woo, woo, woo. So he went and hollered at this dude. Got the limousine. When my man's phone was ringing off the hook because we had this nigga limousine on TV. My man said, I don't know who you motherfuckers is, but shit. Niggas, you can get limousines any damn time y'all want. And so that's what every time niggas seen us out there with them limos and them party buses and stuff, it was shout out to my man Entertainment Express, you know.
Yeah, man.
That was the days right there, dog.
Good old day. Party
smooth,
day.
Man,
listen, we had a good run with Video Shop. We did so much shit from the street shit to the club shit to the community activist shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about working with like law enforcement, not going to snitch on no nigga, but like community shit.
Man, shit. Stop the violence.
Stop the violence.
You gotta do that type of shit. If you outside, you pushing certain shit.
Real
You gotta
shit.
show up to shit.
Community shit, man.
Yeah.
To get guns off the streets, man, that's killing our kids, man. Shit, we ain't gonna do that for.
And they gotta start with them knowing you already out here. They know you in the streets already and see you. They gonna listen to you.
Yeah, we worked with Chevy with that class. I forgot what it stand for again, but
that was a long time.
I know it was a long time, but it was like we in the classroom with the kids, you know.
Yeah, man.
Man, we did some stuff. We
touched every genre.
I like those called accolades. I like those accolades.
Every genre of entertainment. If that's in the D, man. We did live jazz and spoken word.
Yep.
We did comedy showcases. We did hip hop showcases. We did strictly poetry showcases. You feel what I'm saying? We catered to people who's just strictly business in it, like from authors. We interviewing authors and putting their stuff on stage, playwrights, screenplay writers. We every genre of entertainment, the Video Shop covered. Because we wanted to showcase and highlight the talent that was in our community. You feel what I'm saying? And also the businesses that was in it. So we get the businesses involved, you feel what I'm saying? We may have generate the funds to be able to keep the show on the air. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them just was in, love what we did. Like Entertainment Express, he said. You know, we was the first ones with the party buses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we was
in the party bus, man, once a month just to do an inner city tour, taking rappers from 2 to 3 different clubs in one night to perform.
3 different clubs.
You feel what I'm saying?
We walking in
on TV,
we walking in with 40 people. A club they used to love to see us come, but they hated to see us go. Cause leaving out with, especially when we hit the party bus.
We hit the party bus.
Not the party bus, but the double decker party bus. Man, we stacked them. We damn 80 people riding around, hitting clubs, going in them motherfucker, dog.
Man.
Clown.
That shit was heavy.
Man, we put everybody. We try to show love to everybody, and we still get accolades from it because I've been to gas station, motherfuckers say, Papa Duck, what's up, man? I don't know you. I don't know who you is, but you was in a group of a nigga who I fucked with.
Oh boy. Slapz and Trapz. Yes, sir. Radio podcast. See Austin, I see you, baby. With the slap guy. We up in here now. See Austin, the DJ. Yes. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm juan-o. The greatest show on earth. Nice to meet you. Check it. Word to the slap guy, let's talk. Spend about an hour to compress thought. An honest conversation with C. Austin. Subscribe for the updates, it will be often. With an ear to the street, kicking that street dung with a clear tongue. Is it clear to my peeps? Good, we can proceed. The guests on this podcast, nothing but some G's. Smash that subscribe button, that's what it's used for. Ring that bell like you just sold a used car. Slapz and Trapz, radio podcast. Don't compare us to the rest. We a contract.
Slapz and Trapz Radio.
Slapz and Trapz Radio.
You're tuned into Slapz and Trapz Radio, powered by the Slap God, C. Austin the DJ. Austin the DJ.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? The Slap God is in the motherfucking building. And today, on my show, I got two legendary guys. Now, if you're looking at their faces, you already know what time it is. And I know y'all figuring out like, damn, they done pulled up to the Slap Factory. You're right. Ladies and gentlemen, Slapz and Trapz Radio, the Honest Conversation Podcast.
We got Papa Duck, Boodang, Video Shop in the building.
What's up with y'all, man?
Thank you for having us, man.
How y'all doing, man?
Good, pimpin'. I'm good.
Let me turn y'all mics up, man, so the world can hear y'all.
So we be pulling them up?
Oh, y'all can pull them up just a little bit, but they pretty good mics. They catch y'all.
Oh, we good.
Them shores, just don't catch you.
Gotcha.
All right, man, I want to welcome y'all to my show. Now,
Thank you,
fellas,
bro.
first
Thank
of
you,
all,
bro.
like I was telling y'all off air, man, let me give you a little rundown about this platform. Slapz and Trapz Radio was created strictly for the OGs. You know what I'm saying? When I say OG, I mean 35 and up. You know what I'm saying? I was going to do 40, but I'm like, fuck it, I'll let them slide with 35. You know what I'm saying? But what I felt like was the younger generation, you know, they got a million platforms. All they can do is go here, go there. They got Twitter, Instagram, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to us, the OGs, they try to play us like dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? Now, I see a few platforms supporting the OGs, but not catering to them. Over here, we support the young niggas, but we cater to the OGs. So with that being said, man, I want to welcome y'all to the show,
Thank you, man.
On this show, it's called Honest Conversation for a reason. I mean, you can be honest, say what you mean what you say. However it is. If niggas get offended, that's on them. That's not our job to worry about none of that. That's on them for being in their feelings. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to waste no time, man. Y'all fresh off that good Fox 2 News interview, man.
Oh, yeah.
To Crush Your Flower.
Yes, sir.
Man, let's talk about it, man. My first question for you guys today, man, is what inspired this movie, man? You know what I'm saying? Talk to me about, what inspired this movie, man.
Actually, I've told this story a few times, man, just telling it as a story. And someone, said, man, because I was doing plays, that I should make it a stage play. And I had a cast of a certain group of people that I had to remove from this just to focus on this project. And I wanted to bring it to life and just see how it plays out. And it happened to be one of the best plays I ever did, and the response from it, because I'm starred in all my plays, except this one. Actually, in the play, you see none of Jimmy. You only hear about him in his terrible ways, and I come in and make a 2-minute appearance, and that was it, But the way the audience responded, when, and this is a true story. My uncle was doing the lighting, light technician. So I'm fixing him and telling him to, turn the lights down. So I go up there and say, man, what's taking you so long? He said, man, I'm sorry, man. He was up there crying, saying, man, this is so good and powerful, man. You got to make it a movie. Yeah. So from that point on, I had, talk to my brother about, man, I got something I think that's worth. And we've seen plenty of things that we've done together, you know what I'm saying? He said, man, we ought to do this and that. But I had to fight him tooth and nail and convince him that, man, this is something that you need to see. You know what I'm saying? I think the world needs to see this, man. And here it is today, by grace of God.
Well, as a fan, man, on the outside looking in, I would definitely have to agree, man. I got a chance to check out the movie, man. It's outstanding. I was telling brother Boodang here, man, it brought tears to my eyes damn near. I'm trying to be tough and shit, laughing, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's when you know you got a hit on your hands, you know what I'm saying? But what brings me to my next question, fellas, man, I heard you say this is based on a true story. Mm-hmm. Let's get into that, man.
Okay. Well, actually, I was staying with my grandmother, man, and we just kids. Listen, man, we talking 1978, 79. It's not too far from Jim Crow. It's not too far from the Civil Rights Movement. hell, King hadn't been dead that long.
Right.
So it was still in these Europeans' hearts.
Right before the dope took off.
Yeah, man, it was deep in their hearts, man. Only thing in my time, I just didn't have to go through the back door. I didn't have to sit in the back of the bus. But I came right after that. And them hunkies, Europeans, white folks, Peckerwood, Caucasian, however you want to name them, they were so harsh to the kids. You feel what I'm saying? And when I used to bring it to my grandmama, she used to sound like a runaway slave. Like, ooh, don't go over there messing with that white woman. Right. Stay away from over there. And I'm saying, Grandma, we ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? We just kids playing. But what actually happened is, you know, just I got in trouble, frustrated. You know, Grandma told me sit on the porch, you can't go out there and play. And I just went over there, man, and because he's like, nah, rake the yard up. And I'm doing like, out of frustration, I goes over there, man. I stumped that lady's flowers, man. I stumped the shit out of them. And then when she came out the house and cussed me out, man, and the way she passed out, I was like, oh my God, man. We talking about a time, man. I could, you know, you blaming a 10-year-old, you know what I'm saying, killing the old white woman.
When I seen
you
that
getting lynched.
part, I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
You getting lynched, man.
Hell yeah, especially at that time.
The grace of God, man, she came through. And, you know, she changed. You know, I can't say that was it, the catalyst, but the way she changed, man, and, you know, she changed my way of thinking, you know, of how my perception of white people. Yeah. You know, it's the way we came together, man. I believe that if people pay attention to this, they might can wipe away racism. You know what I'm saying? And the only way we can wipe away racism is if the Europeans understand that you hating us for nothing. You know, you point your fingers and blaming us for something. Exaggerating on shit, man.
You can't you just can't group people.
Yeah.
People is people.
People is people.
You got some black crazy motherfuckers, you got some white crazy motherfuckers. Chinese crazy motherfuckers. So you just can't be like, you know, black people or all white people. You got some different ones.
Yeah, man. But with that, man, she came and changed. I think that after, listen, man, that shit happened 45 years ago. That shit happened 45 years ago, and every time I told somebody about it, it was like, man, that's deep. It's deep, you know. And we got so many projects that's before this, you know. I felt like, man, at the time of the Black Lives Matter movement was strong, you know what I'm saying? The way the Europeans was viewing us then, you know.
Like it was time.
The Karens is popping up at barbecues and, you know, I'm like, man, yeah, man.
It was that time.
It was that time. Yep.
Yeah, I dig it, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what's up, fellas, man. Now, let me ask you this. You was talking about your grandmother, man. So tell me about that experience a little bit, if you don't mind. What was it like coming up with your grandmother? I mean, was the situation with your mom, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we say that for the movie and the people could watch the movie. I don't want to spoil it, you know what I'm saying? But as much as you can, as much as you feel like telling the people, man.
My grandmother, man, just a beautiful soul, man. I didn't realize how young she was. When you look at us, you know, I'm the age she was when I was standing there, man, and she go to bed at 6 o'clock, man. It be daylight. And she get up at 3 a.m, breakfast is done at 5, man. Lunch is done at 9, dinner done by 1. You know, her house is cleaned up, man. She had a structure, the way she moved and everything, and, you know, the love she poured into me, you know, actually, I'm there because, you know, my auntie had a community center. And, you know, I was the oldest grandson at the time to be able to go over here, go over here. You know, and then my grandmama said, you might as well spend the night. Might as well stay, because I got to cut the grass. And these is lawnmowers with no motors. So I'm pushing. Then on top of that, my grandmama would say, cut Miss Edith's grass. And I'm like, I don't want to cut this white woman grass, you know, and I got to push more than, you know what I'm saying? But that's how the person she was.
She was building that character.
Yeah, that person she was, you know, regardless, you know, do hers too.
Sound like she did more before noon than most motherfuckers doing today.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's back in that era.
That's
Remind
the
me
real,
of my grandmother.
Yeah, my
man.
grandmother too. That's the real grandmother.
Yeah, man.
7
She
o'clock in
cooked
the
every
bed
morning.
sleep. Do you hear me?
She had cakes all the time. And, you know,
Yeah.
she was baking grandmamas.
Yeah,
you
cooking.
know, cooking
Yeah.
always.
A
Yeah.
real grandmother.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. With moving forward, man, I want to shift a little forward to the movies, fellas, man. I want to talk about the cast, man. Like I said, it was such an incredible movie, man. Most of my questions is just based solely around the movie. I ain't even gonna lie. We can get into everything else a little bit later on, you know what I'm saying? But I want the world to understand how good of a movie this is.
Thank you,
and
man.
why
Thank you, man.
they
Thank you.
should watch this movie.
Thank you,
This is
man.
not hyping y'all up. I swear
Thank
to
you,
God,
man.
it's not, because I don't do that. But this is
Oh,
just
yeah,
honest
for sure,
conversation,
for
and that's
sure.
my job to be honest. So me
Thank you,
being
man.
honest,
Appreciate
man, you know, I know a good movie when I see one. I dissect movies and music. Like, that's my job. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
appreciate
when
that.
I tell you, like, y'all got one on your hands, and I'm glad that y'all receiving it well and getting the recognition that y'all getting. You know what I'm saying? But talk to me about how you guys picked the cast, man. Did you already know everybody, or did you have auditions, or what was that like?
Well, we did when we did the play, I had asked everybody from the play did they want to return. And the ones that said yeah, of course, but then I had to remove them around, you know, because you have to look like you belong to that person, you know. And the actual kid who played him in the play, he didn't want to, you know, take on that challenge. He was like, no, I just want to, you know, he was young, I got it. So we cast the role for David, and man, God sent he sent the angel, man. He sent,
yes, he
man,
did.
something that I could never imagine in my whole life. The perfect David, you know, and Christopher Foster Jr., his name is going places. As long as I can, I'm going to be pushing him as far as I can take him. That man needs to be seen. That kid touched your heart, man. He touched my heart the first time I met him. And here's the killing part, man. Boodang didn't even know that was his cousin was casted. That's his cousin.
That's your cousin, bro?
That's his cousin. And he didn't even know because we was in rehearsal maybe
How old
6
is he?
months.
How old is when y'all started
When he
filming
came
it
to
all?
the cast,
I think he was
about
like
11 or 12.
10 or 11.
See, listen to this.
I think he was 10.
This the part that's crazy. The last little boy who was in the play, I told Duck I like him, man. What? He like, man, I got another little dude, man. He even better. I said, man, he not better than that dude, man. He like, man, he even better. I said, all right, man, whatever. Then Duck called me about 2 weeks later. He was like, hey, man, you know the little dude I told you who was who I got replacing the other little dude? I said, yeah. He said, man, he said you his cousin. I said, he did?
Yeah.
Who is he? When he told me,
You
I
say I
said,
never knew.
oh shit, I had forgot that my cousin was putting her son in like events. He was doing like little modeling and all that. So I forgot all about that. You know what I
Grooming him,
mean?
basically.
Got him together. So, you know, that was my first time seeing him in some years, you know?
Hey, man.
Well, listen, man,
That
your
little boy cold.
little cousin is
It's
on
cold,
his
man.
way.
He on
you know
point.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
But you know, this one was impressive, man. Duck casted everybody. See, I just was waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
Duck was doing the work with the cast. He telling everybody how to do their lines, and he working with them. And he calling me like, dang, they gonna be ready in a minute, man. I'm telling you at rehearsal. And I'm like, all right, man, just let me know when it's time to bring them cameras out.
Right.
And when I did come out, I was like, man, I don't know, man. They ain't doing what you said they was gonna be doing. So we had to take it back to the drawing board. The pandemic happened, all that. But we eventually...
And look,
Speak
I'm gonna
on
say
that
this.
for a
Let
minute.
me add this to that. 'Cause let me say, listen, man. Dang, when I was telling him to come see it, you know, because I know they're gonna be right. I knew we couldn't film until it's convincing. You feel what I'm saying? So when I'm telling them you ain't gonna be right, they're gonna come right. They was more nervous because the camera's here. You feel what I'm saying? So I said, oh man. He said, man, they ain't doing what you said now. So I said, okay, we go back to the drawing board. Now I got to put it in their mind. I play every single character.
You got to get him comfortable
Yeah.
in front of the camera, man.
Yeah, man. I play every single character. From Miss Edith to the kid.
Incredible actor.
Yeah.
Hey man, this nigga was a hard
I
ass.
laughed so hard
Hey,
with
listen.
Jimmy, dog. I couldn't stop. I was quiet like this nigga was out of his mind.
Man, this nigga was a hard director too, boy. This nigga make sure a motherfucker get it right. If you seen some of the behind the scenes, man,
Real
this
looking at this shit.
this
It gotta
nigga
be
cuss
right.
motherfuckers out.
Hell yeah, nigga.
Hey man, it's not.
We
That's
still
I'm
nigga
passionate.
shit. The camera just recording, nigga.
I'm passionate about this project, but
That
at the
nigga,
same
that time,
time,
you was just doing the shit
you
right.
got to look convincing. You know, I seen bad acting kill good movies, man. You feel what I'm saying? I seen bad acting just destroy the movie. But I
That shit gotta
seen
be
good
believable.
acting.
Niggas gotta believe it.
I seen good acting take you to the end of a bad movie.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? At least give me that.
at least give you the good acting,
You know?
and they did their thing, man.
Yeah,
Whatever the
man,
fuck
they
you
came
told them
right,
niggas,
man.
that shit worked, man.
Man, they came,
they
man.
did their thing, man.
They
did their
came.
thing.
And
And then you know we was you know how it is when you movie making. You just as you working, certain ideas hitting you.
Yep.
Oh shit, this will make that better.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yep.
Oh, instead of doing it, listen on the Belinda scene where she, you know, going through
That was her name. I was just thinking of
Belinda.
Yeah.
when she going through her struggles, right? The way she was moving, we had a real live fiend who was like, "Hey, hold on, if y'all could, you know, take a little criticism." She ain't got the mannerisms
She ain't acting like no dope.
of a
fan.
dolphin. She said she more acting like a drunk, and she started breaking it down and consulting the girl on how to move around and turn into a real one.
First, that was Trapz exclusive. Getting schooled by a real dope. My baby.
Yeah, she was
Hey,
in the real dope house.
Hey,
She was in a
hey,
real crack house.
hey, you think that house? You think we put that house
She was in
together?
a real crack house.
Nigga, we was in that house for real. Hey, there was real flies on camera,
Real
boy.
deal shit, boy. Detroit, nigga.
Flies getting the cameo in that bitch like.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, man, it took that dope fiend changed that walk.
She sure did.
That walk, I think that's one of the best scenes
Man,
in the
shout
movie.
out
man.
Melinda, man. What's her
Alethea
real name?
Vernon, man.
Alicia Vernon, man.
She is
Alicia,
a
what up,
cold
man?
bitch. She was a
Alethea.
blessing.
Hey,
Incredible
Alethea
actor.
Vernon.
Alethea, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, dog.
She dope,
She
man.
was a blessing, man.
Yeah.
When she came to the audition, I was like, the first day I say you Belinda. I see because she has, oh man, her acting skills
You
are
can
so
tell
good.
she
If she's
passionate
not
about her
exactly,
work.
she's not
Cause she in
afraid.
other movies already.
Yeah, but she's not afraid to play a harsh role.
Yeah.
She had the hair, she had the style, she had the clothing. She was prepared to take it to the gutter with me.
I knew
Yeah.
it. She bossed up. Was like, nigga, I ain't doing it no more. There we go, goddamn. Like,
But think about how
that hood came
think
out.
about
Nigga,
think about how passionate of an actor though you gotta be to really go down through there like she did. You know
and
what I
I'm gonna
mean?
tell you something else about her. She's a one taker.
Yeah, she don't play no
You don't
games.
take no 3, 4 takes with her. It's
Yeah.
one and done.
I used
She's
to
very
just be letting it
professional.
roll because she gonna stay into the character
She
the
is
whole
cold.
time. She
Talk
told.
about that for a minute, Boodang, man. Just capturing the moment. You know what I'm saying? And looking at this crowd, you watching the camera, but looking at the shit at the same time.
Listen.
Like, damn.
At first, I was, cause you know this is my first movie. You know what I mean? I done did a short film and stuff, but at first, I was like kind of critical of how I was capturing it, how it was kind of going. But when I get home and I would look at it, I would be like, this shit ain't bad. This shit is really believable, you know? But I don't know. It was something about like, I don't know, I guess just me, you know, when you on set by yourself filming, you trying to make sure everything is technically going right. At the same time, you can't just be like a person on the sideline like, oh, that's deep. That acting good. You know, so I'm
you gotta be
kind
on
of
point.
focused on this.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself as I'm looking through there, like, I don't know. But when I got home and looked at it, I was like, yeah, you know, it was parts that I wasn't satisfied with. We had to redo. And it was parts that just, I knew when we were shooting it, I was like, oh, this shit is happening. This shit it right here. So,
Let me
you
ask
know.
y'all this, man. When did y'all know? You know, like everybody know. Like when you like, all right, just the final cut. Like just, you know
So,
what I'm saying?
hey, it's crazy
When
because
y'all wrapped
for
up
real,
and shit, like did y'all watch it once you wrapped
Yeah.
up and that, you know what
let me tell you for real how we knew. Because we sat at my crib and watched it, right? we both, lumped it out though, but we also at the same time, like, we the one did this shit, so like we don't have too much objective to, we did this shit, we created it, so they let us have a viewing at the theater.
Yep, I remember you doing a promo for that.
Yeah, and when we went to the theater, you're talking about like before the actual premiere,
Okay. Yeah.
And we sat there, and sat there and checked it out. And that's when I knew.
What was that? Like, I was like, nigga, that big ass screen, watching some shit you directed, nigga, acted and starred in and shit.
Man,
like,
bro, the sound man, the man who was controlling the movie board for us, he was 70-some years old, man.
Yep.
He was in
White guy.
White guy.
How was the chemistry like on set with everybody? Was it smooth? I know you mentioned you had to get them together a few times, but like besides that, what was the chemistry like? Because on the movie, evidently,
everybody came dedicated.
It was like family, bro.
Everybody came dedicated.
It was like family.
We rehearsed months before we called Dane out, man, because it's a movie, not a play. Mm-hmm. And what I had to do is there's two different parts of acting with most of these cast members, because some had never acted before, never been in a movie before. But to be on stage, I'm taking a theater actor and turning it into cinema. So that was a different transition with the cast from me taking them, giving that over the top acting from the stage. No, you have to be subtle with this. You have to be real. You got to be convincing, and then once they was coming to learn it more so, to develop the character, they wanted to learn the art of acting, and Chris, like I say, man, this kid was a blessing, man. Alethea,
incredible.
For them to be able to cry on spot, to cry on demand, that means they was feeling these characters. Yeah. They was feeling these roles. Because if you sit up here and you got a 10-year-old, 12-year-old crying, man, that's capable of doing that, he's embedded into this character. He's embedded into the role,
And these characters, man, the reason these characters is you really feel these characters because you really feel real Detroiters.
Yeah.
Now how they be making the movies, and I ain't trying to put down nobody movie, but people be just trying to like have the most exotic type looking people in their movies and shit. Don't be believable to me. It's like you gotta have real people in this motherfucker. You gotta have, hey, listen, bro.
Yeah,
they did such a good job, man. She did, bro. Man. She did, and you know what I'm saying? Like it was raw. Like she had did her own makeup. You know what I'm saying? She brought that shit to life, man.
Reality, I feel like y'all really captured reality with this movie. You know what I'm saying? That's the definition of a raw inner city, just reality movie.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it, brother.
Speaking of that, Duck, man, I heard you mention earlier that the shit started from plays, man. So with that being said, man, how long have you been in the film industry? Now I know you was doing your thing with the music.
Well, the music the film started with Dane. When he shot my first video, he shot one of my videos, my first video with him was Hard Heads, and it was like a motion picture. So from there, just like, man, I had to like capture lightning in the bottle with him, man. I was like, man, I got something, man. Listen, if we can do this, I convinced him to do the video shop, okay? And we had the TV show for 10 years. But we started off like, nah, I don't want to do that, man. I was like, listen, man, we can make this, and we had a 10-year run. And then after it was over with,
that shit was legendary.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Well, it was. I appreciate it.
When we got to the end of that, it was because I've gotten older. The music changed. It wasn't the same to me. My response. If I'm interviewing you, I can't hide my expressions, man. If I like the shit, if I don't, you know what I'm saying? So if you ask me if I like it, how do I like it? The look on my face letting you know, motherfucker, I don't like it. But I say, don't leave it up to me, man. Leave it up to the viewers. Y'all call in, you know what I'm saying? And Dane said, man, your passion for it is gone. You know, what's the next move, man? And I think
not to mention we people just wasn't into late night TV no more.
No more,
man.
yeah.
On demand TV, YouTube, all that shit had came up and took over.
That also,
you know what I'm saying? So,
and that's about right. Not to cut you off, fella. You usually get about a 10-year. You know with all this digital software, they start changing. They come out with all the new shit.
It was time to bow out gracefully. You know,
and we did.
Right now they on the stream and shit. Everything is shifted to the stream.
That's it.
You know, so. That's dope,
and I just end up.
We used to have niggas waiting up at night. Well, we in video shop coming on. They be up waiting. Boom, we on. They looking at their video. We had a whole bunch of dudes out here, man, on some superstar status, man.
Now while we on video shop, man, let's talk about that for a minute, Phyllis. Since we on it, I had it later on down the line, but since we already on it, let's go ahead and discuss it, man. Like, what made y'all want to get into that, man, and just come up with the idea to show people videos? You know what I'm saying?
Both of us is CEOs of our own label, and we had our own artists, and we was paying to be on other people's platforms. When I said, man, we could do our own, man.
Shit.
You know, 21C Lead, Ductors Entertainment, man, we put our own acts on. And
I was shooting so many videos, right? So these people who I was shooting videos for, they was like, man, because they was looking at these, they was looking at Nuke at Night, they was looking at Video Vibe, they was
Detroit
looking at Detroit Rap TV, Turbulence, all that, right?
Turbulence, yeah.
And so they was like asking me how I can get their stuff on. So I ended up forming a little relationship with my man's D from Detroit Rap TV. Y'all rest his soul. And he ended up. We started doing stuff where I would include in my video package people getting on their show, getting their video ran. But like I said, it was furring in between. It wasn't everybody, but it was Duck who was like, you know, I had worked on a TV show already, DC TV. And I ain't really I was just the editor. I ain't had no creative control. I had to just, whatever they give me here, edit that together, you know. And it just wasn't what I wanted to do. So when he was talking about let's start a video shop, I just wasn't really looking at it like that. I wasn't feeling it like that. But, you know, it made sense. And we ended up doing like a pilot. Though. We did a pilot, man.
So let me ask you this, man.
He ended up getting the pilot on TV, dog.
What was it that convinced you?
When he just took the pilot and put the motherfucker on TV, right? And so I'm like, man, but it was just like, damn, because people was calling me and saying they seen it.
Yeah.
And so I think that would convince me, like, that kind of like pump my ego, like, oh shit, people watch this shit
already.
You know?
The thing is, I was so passionate about making it happen because I knew what we had. But man, I was married at the time, and I walked in, man, hearing my wife telling her mama, a friend, whoever, this nigga's trying to, you know, get his own TV show. He don't know shit about television broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? And that just put fuel to the fire, man.
He was like,
as soon as he gave me the pilot, I had it already set up to be on TV. Already, you know. I knew what it was going to take. And once I got that, we had a 10-year run, man. A beautiful 10.
Listen, man, Video Shop has taken us to all over the places. Man. Listen, man, let me tell you something, man. Man, we had, because Duck used to always want to do shit big, you know what I'm saying? So, that's why if you look at our pictures at like the event parties and everything, this nigga always dressed up and I'm always kind of dressed down, you know what I'm saying, on some.
You look like you about to slam a nigga.
Hey, look. But this nigga was like.
Rabbit, 2 rounds of scrap.
We was having I think it was our first anniversary party. It was like, man, we getting a limousine. Woo woo. I'm like, man, a limousine, dog. Nigga. He like, no, nigga, we coming that bitch in the limousine. Woo woo woo. So he went and hollered at this dude. Got the limousine. When my man's phone was ringing off the hook because we had this nigga limousine on TV. My man said, I don't know who you motherfuckers is, but shit. Niggas, you can get limousines any damn time y'all want. And so that's what every time niggas seen us out there with them limos and them party buses and stuff, it was shout out to my man Entertainment Express, you know.
Yeah, man.
That was the days right there, dog.
Good old day. Party
smooth,
day.
Man, listen, we had a good run with Video Shop. We did so much shit from the street shit to the club shit to the community activist shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about working with like law enforcement, not going to snitch on no nigga, but like community shit.
Man, shit. Stop the violence.
Stop the violence.
You gotta do that type of shit. If you outside, you pushing certain shit. You gotta show up to shit.
Community shit, man.
Yeah.
To get guns off the streets, man, that's killing our kids, man. Shit, we ain't gonna do that for.
And they gotta start with them knowing you already out here. They know you in the streets already and see you. They gonna listen to you.
Yeah, we worked with Chevy with that class. I forgot what it stand for again, but
that was a long.
I know it's a long time, but it was like we in the classroom with the kids, you know.
Yeah, man.
Man, we did some stuff. We
touch every genre.
I like those called accolades. I like those accolades.
Every genre of entertainment. If that's in the D, man. We did live jazz and spoken word.
Yep.
We did comedy showcases. We did hip hop showcases. We did strictly poetry showcases. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We catered to people who's just strictly business in it, like from authors. Mm-hmm. We interviewing authors and putting their stuff on stage, playwrights, screenplay writers. Right. Every genre of entertainment, the video shop covered. Mm-hmm. Because we wanted to showcase and highlight the talent that was in our community. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And also the businesses that was in it. So we get the businesses involved, you feel what I'm saying? We may have generate the funds to be able to keep the show on the air. Mm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them just was love what we did. Like Entertainment Express, he said. You know, we was the first ones with the party buses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
was in the party bus, man, once a month just to do an inner city tour, taking rappers from 2 to 3 different clubs in one night to perform.
3 different clubs.
You feel what I'm saying?
We walking in.
All on TV,
we walking in with 40 people. A club they used to love to see us come, but they hated to see us go. Because leaving out with, especially when we hit the party bus.
We hit the party bus.
Not the party bus, but the double decker party bus. Man, we stacked them. We damn 80 people riding around, hitting clubs, going in them motherfucking dog.
Yep, man.
Clown.
That shit was heavy.
Man, we put everybody. We try to show love to everybody, and we still get accolades from it because I've been to gas station, motherfuckers say, "Papa Duck, what's up, man?" I don't know. I don't know who you is, but you was in a group of a nigga who I fucked with. You know.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
That's good, man, because that's what you put it down for. You know what I'm saying? You know, after doing some legendary shit like that, niggas not gonna forget who you is. I don't give a fuck if you in Walmart. Nigga,
much love, man. I love my city, man. I love the shit out this motherfucker, man.
And speaking of that, fellas, that's why I started this platform, like I was telling y'all earlier. You know what I'm saying? So you can highlight these accolades. You know what I'm saying? The people get a chance to hear these stories. This is what the people like. They love this shit. Yeah. I love this shit. Just hearing about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we had some.
While we on video shop, let's move a little forward, Duck, man. Talk to me about Duck This Entertainment for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Just that being the movement and what, just getting that started and bringing it to life. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Having different artists and, the ins and outs of the music game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you go look at 8 Mile, it opens up saying Detroit, Michigan, 1995. I came home from the penitentiary in 1995, man. And the only thing I knew was battle rapping from the penitentiary. And I was going everywhere, to Ebony Showcase, to Niners, to the shop, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere that I can go showcase my shit, I was trying to get there, And in the middle of it, my daughter get molested, so I shoots this motherfucker and I go back because I'm on parole and everything. So when I finally got out of that situation, I ended up getting custody of my child. So all this rap shit has got us thrown out the window. You feel what I'm saying? And we talking, when I shot my man, I think I shot him in 96, at the end of 96, going 97. I get my child in 99, after fighting the case or whatever. So the rap shit is out the window. But in 04, when they got hold, they was like, "Daddy, you should go back into this," because everywhere I go, people say, "Man, don't get your daddy." And then Proof came to me and my boy 6'4", and he was like, "Duck, man, we doing the movie." He was telling me about it. And I was like, "Man, I ain't got time for that and that type of shit, man. My daughter going through therapy and shit."
Right.
So I said, "Man, if God want me to do this, he'll call me to it." You know what I'm saying? And by 04, it was time,
Yeah.
It was time. So... And I wanted to do it on my own. I wasn't no more trying to run around here looking for a record deal no more.
Mm-hmm.
So I formulated Duck This. I ended up signing 10 acts to my label. And we started pushing. You know, just that we didn't have a platform. And I lost my wife because of I was spending money on, like you say, Detroit Rap TV, Video Go-Go with Tucson, Turbulence. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, you spend all your money on these platforms, you don't even watch the shit. You can do your own motherfucking shit.
Right.
You know? And I said, you know what?
You got mad when you did it.
Yeah, you got mad when I did it. You know? Because I said, you right. And the only thing I had to do was, you know, talk to one man with one camera. You know what I'm saying? Who has a mind that, listen, man, for him to be able to bring anything I ask him to life, I said, man, that's all I need. That's all I need. If I can capture this lightning in the bottle with this cat, man, we got something. You know, and he's seen it and been brothers.
And it was crazy because I was already shooting videos, right? And so when I met Duck, because Duck, you know, he knew these dudes, Hardhead and Gritty. I shot Hardhead and Gritty video, and they was like, you know, when Duck came on set, me and him met each other. He like, yeah, I want you to do my video. And so what made him different, though, to me, out of all the people who videos that I was doing, is after I shot his video, he was like, now watch what I do. Man, nigga hit that video on TV. He was on TV. He told me to tune in. He on TV like, yeah, man, hey, my video got shot by the dopest video director in the city. And he was just big up in me, you know what I'm saying? And nigga was like the great Boodang.
You see what I tell you after we wrap up every video, you know what I say in between skits, like the great producer Boodang, the great director Boodang.
Hey man, this nigga was the originator saying that shit. I'm like, that was the first time I was hearing that shit.
Great Boodang.
But
and the killer part, it was the same day.
So
I
yeah,
said same day. I said,
and I was seeing that nigga was moving different, and he was like, hey, because we shot shit a few more videos.
Oh yeah. Hell
and then, you know, the video shop shit came.
Yeah.
You know?
Talk about now, real quick, while we on this video shit, fellas. Talk to me about just directing videos, Boodang. What made you want to do that and jump into the video shit, and then eventually, you know, develop into film?
You know what? It's crazy because shout out Muff Man, the action figure. You know what I'm saying? Muff Man, that's my cousin, right? So Muff Man, he was like, he'd say he ran into one of our homeboys. I just ran into the homeboy. Shout out to Nakma. He like, man, I ran into Nakma, man. Nakma, man, he shooting videos, but I ran into Nakma. Earlier that month, he didn't say nothing about videos. He said he was doing the graphics shit. I said, no, you mean graphics. He said, no, he's shooting music videos. I'm like, man, I just ran into the nigga. He said graphics. So anyway, we went over knock my crib. Okay. And he kind of kidnapped me that day because he called me, hey man, come on, hit this blunt. I go out there, he just pull off. I'm like, so we go down, knock my crib. He like, hey, knock. Hey man, come on, bring your video. That nigga bring that DVD out there. I'm looking at that video. I'm like, Knock, who did this? He like, me. I said, I'm talking about who did the editing. He like, me. I said, nigga, I'll pay you $500 right now to do mine. He like, all right. Man, we shot a cold video, right? It's like a movie. We got rest in peace to my brother Lonnie. We got this nigga, they got him like, they kidnapped him, tamed up, they got him tied up in the basement. We out there looking for him. It was like a movie. So, man, it's taking Knockma forever. I'm like, God damn, Knock, it have been like 4 months.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, man, what's going on? He like, man, I can't really, man, come over my house. I'm over there. I'm like, damn, what's it? He like, man, I'm looking at it and the mouth is off on the rap and it ain't synced up. I'm like, bro, what? Yours ain't like this, bro. He like, man, I can't get it, man. Look, you might can get it. I'm sitting down. Now I'm over here over this nigga crib for hours. But I'm saying to myself, oh, I fucks with this.
Gotta fuck with this shit.
I said, man, how you get this program? And nigga was like, man, my cousin, man, she snuck it from Wayne State and it started in my computer. I said, man, how much she'd charge me to put it in, man? I pay her. He could have said anything. He was like, man, give her $50. She came over with that. To this day, I still mess with her. I want to put her name out there since she did that. But
for sure, we can't do that.
I know, right?
No telling.
But she put it in, and she showed me a little couple pointers and everything. So I had an editing software and didn't even have a camera. It got some little editing It got some little video in there, like a little birthday party with a clown and somebody riding bikes. And I'm just practicing editing with this footage of these white people in a birthday party and stuff. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, I gotta get a camera. Went to ABC Warehouse, right? You remember that little hand flip, John?
Hell yeah.
That 8 millimeters.
Man, I forgot what it was, but I popped that boy
They all
out.
had one of them bitches. Niggas know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
That
little
little
8
Sony
millimeter,
motherfucker
man.
put
That
bitch
little
right on your head, nigga.
Listen, the day I got it,
Shit,
I
nigga.
set that mud up on the little thing in my little studio room with the fish tank. I shot penalizer.
No, I was gonna say, don't tell me it was
I
penalized.
shot penalizer.
God.
I cut that boy together. I was like, ooh, wee. So I'm sending it out to my people like, oh shit. I'm showing them this DVD. And so everybody I showed her, now they want to get one. You know what I mean? Boom, shoot Bobski and Red video. Red homeboy, M-Dot.
Yeah.
My first customer. How much you
Not
charge
to mention,
me?
you generating income for yourself. Now.
Yeah,
It's a
man,
new hustle.
listen, bro.
Man,
It just
I didn't
starts
know that
snowballing. Shit just
Damn.
started snowballing out of control. And I was probably like damn near 30 to 20 videos in when I met you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause you, like I said, when you seen Hard Here and Greedy.
It was Joe.
Oh no, you seen
Joe Kane, Joe Banano.
Joe Banano and them. When I with the little lights.
Man, that shit was
gang of
dope.
us. Rest in peace to Joe Banano.
Yeah, man, that shit was super dope. I say, who in the fuck shot that? And they say his name Boodang. I said, Boodang. I said, well, shit, hook me up. And they was trying to keep it from me. Hard head, they're like, wait till we get our video first. And then I introduce you to this.
Hold on to some shit.
Yeah, they're my brothers, man. I pulled down on them like, y'all ain't getting away with this. And from that point on, man.
Yeah. But the way that nigga used to be describing his videos and shit, like, I just shot him. He really directed the motherfuckers because he like, no, I wanted to do like this. And I'm a dude who just like, okay, I know how we gonna capture that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, nigga always came and knew what he wanted with his shit. And we always did it like that.
Yeah. Even with the plays.
Even with the plays.
And
the trailers of the play. I used to come in not knowing nothing.
Yeah, look at the trailers. They look like movies.
I be like, why you want me to shoot them saying that though? What? You will see what I'm talking about. And it lead up to what it is, so you know.
Now, Doug, talk to me about being a visionary, man. Just having a dope ass vision for all of this shit and seeing it come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? How has that been like for you?
Man,
you know what I'm saying? You putting in all this work. You on the set, all these, both of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Passion
you putting
for
all
it,
this shit, all this work in. You sit back and just watch it come to fruition and play out. You know what
I'm gonna
saying?
tell you this story, man. You may not believe me. I thought I turned that shit down. You may not believe me, man. I was in the county jail, man, and I ended up getting the TV taken. Okay, and niggas was mad. Niggas was like, man, we were gonna do it, taking the TV, da 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 da. So my boy said, man, what you gonna do, man? I goes out on the table, man, stood on the table. I said, all right, check this out. I'm gonna tell you the story. And from that day on, for next 3-4 days, I was standing on that table telling stories, man. Damn. And I was telling these stories that I ended up turning into a play.
Niggas love that type of shit. Niggas listen to some hood shit.
Man, they was listening. They was like, man, this shit needed. And I did a play called Mama's Boy, The Making of a Man. Okay? And at the end of the play, I'm in jail. I'm doing a story of my life, and I'm in jail. And two of my partners that I was locked up with, you feel what I'm saying? They out and everything. They in the audience. They didn't even know that it was two guys on stage playing them. You know what I'm saying? As they sit and watching my life play out. And here I am in the jail cell with the two guys that's in the audience that I come out of there with. You know what I'm saying? Who told me this? That's why it was so important for them to be in there, for me to show them that I didn't forget. You said.
Gave them their credits and
hey, man, give him the credit. Because he said, man, when you get out of here, man, you need to do something about that, man. You're one of the best storytellers I ever heard. You know?
Man, let me say how cold this boy is, man.
You a visionary.
Listen, man, how fearless this dude.
I didn't even know you was into the plays, man.
Let me tell you how fearless this dude is, man. Man, that very play talking about, man, that jail scene, man. Listen, when they brought him out on the stage, man, this nigga was like butt ass naked. I don't know what he had on and shit, covering his junk and shit, but he was like naked. They bringing that nigga out on some motherfucker. The audience going crazy laughing, right? This nigga didn't break character. They threw that nigga in the jail. That nigga just acting in I'm looking at, cause I'm filming the shit and I'm looking at motherfuckers went from laughing too goddamn crying. When that nigga start acting and they start playing the music and that nigga start, man, that shit was strong, dog. I said, man, this nigga, I said, how the fuck this nigga do some shit?
Acting, man, no matter what, how much pressure or whatever going on, man,
I
never
said,
jump
this
out
nigga
of
the real
character,
deal,
you know
dog.
what I'm saying?
This nigga the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
Tell me about doing the plays, man. You know what I'm saying? What made you want to start writing plays? And once again, seeing them come to fruition.
After the video shop was over, man, I was already doing other people's plays, let me say that. And then I kept saying, I must just do plays, you know what I'm saying, keep my name relevant. But the plays that I was doing, it's always leading you to Christ. It's either the love triangle or it's a comedy. And I said, I see nothing realistic about these. Nothing like domestic violence, nothing like racism, nothing like child molestation, you know, so
no real
I
message.
wanted no real message. Right. No, how did this man become a dope fiend? You know, that we see every day at the store that used to be cool, you know, so I wanted to tell those type of tales, man. And these the shit I was saying in the penitentiary. So when I was able to, like, put it together myself, I did Perilous Times with T.J. Hensfield, one of the biggest productions that the city has every year. And I went to learn to go to school. You know, how do you put on a production like this? The lighting, the stage setting, the casting, the people, the music, you know, everything that came with that. So when I left with his musical director, I left with his leading actors. You feel what I'm saying?
The whole package.
And I said, I'm finna take this, you know, and I built my own set. Because no one can do the blueprint to my idea, is how I felt. Like, let me see my own vision. I can step back. Like in Mama's Boy, it took me, man, damn near 5 months to find my furniture. You know, I wanted that stage to look like my house did when I was a kid, when my daddy and them was doing their thing, you know. So, because I wanted to be so real, because I got people in the audience that's watching this shit, and if I'm representing they family member wrong, you know, because I'm keeping real characters real, man. You know what I'm saying? And my sister and brother, my aunties, my cousins, everybody in the audience, especially my uncle, man, in One Piece, he was like, man, he said, man, I don't even know how you remember that shit. He said, I'm the motherfucker who put the nigga on with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, square business. He was like, man, how the fuck you remember this shit?
Niggas love that shit though when it's done right, and that's very important. You know what I'm saying? What you just said.
Out of all the plays you ever been to, you never really been to a play where motherfuckers be on the motherfucker with some real cussing and real shit. But this how this nigga plays be. They be strong with the cussing and shit like that, and you might not get get the gospel sponsors and stuff, but the plays be, man, more realer, more.
It don't matter. You got the streets. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the streets control everything.
One play was Cloud9, the one we doing the movie for right now. I got some grass and got them in the pound bags. But I went to the dispensary. It was a smoke shop that sold this skunk piss, right? You pour a couple drips on this motherfucking pound, shake it up, it smell like you got some real motherfucking fire. So I'm selling weed. You know what I'm saying? But I got my cousin set up in the audience and say, hey, man, let me get a bag of that shit. So I said, hey, man, go down there and serve him. So he jump off the stage, go down there in the crowd, serve the nigga. And all they smelled was cat piss when that nigga walked up. Niggas like, man, that's some real man, they selling real weed up in this. But I smoked weed on the stage. I had real liquor, you know. Only thing wasn't real was the cocaine and the heroin. Yeah. But, you know, I wanted it to be just as real as possible. Even when I shot dope on stage, man, I went through the whole ritual, you know, for the audience to really see and feel this pain, man.
The real tie up, everything.
That's real, man, because in the movie, man, that shit was incredible, man. So I can only imagine just bringing that visual in a play and you right in front of the audience they seeing. I think that's very important, man, with the creation. The realer it feels, the better you can perform.
Yeah, the better you can perform.
You know what I'm saying? So, speaking of performing, Duck, man, while we at it, man, we was talking about 8 Mile, man. Run me through that right quick, man. How did that come about, man? How did you get presented with such an incredible opportunity, man?
I don't know. I don't know, man. All I just know I was trying to make a name for myself, man. And, you know, I didn't believe it. I thought the movie was going to be some old low-budget movie because, you know, we hood niggas. I ain't even seen them, you know, elevate at that point like that because I got more involved into raising my kids. And
I think that was Proof. I think Proof was like, hey, we're going to name the rival character Papa Duck,
I think
Papa
so.
Doc. You know,
I knew him.
Like not take a Papa Duck name, but saying Papa Doc. You know what I'm saying? Because he the aggressor, motherfucker, you know, rap nigga.
Yep, I really was.
Yeah. Talk about Proof for a minute, man. Just his characteristics as a man, knowing him. You know what I'm saying? Putting it down on him.
They ain't got more.
Yeah,
I met
man.
him through rap.
Proof was actually my homeboy, man. Yeah. Me and him, he the first one ever. We met each other. We used to go to Osborne and rap battling, about to fight each other.
Yeah.
Actually, we got into it, but shit, it was.
You know, I had BK and Fats on the show a couple of weeks ago, man.
Oh, yeah?
They were talking about Proof, man. Gave us a couple of proofs. That's the first thing they said about the Proof, always battle rapping and shit, and getting into it with
man, that nigga tried to get into it, but I was one of them karate doing motherfuckers, right? So, like, Proof used to love that. Like, man, teach me that shit, man. Because, like, it's like we got into it, but the next day, that nigga walked up, man, y'all actually dope, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just your boy, you know, he be talking shit. And I'm like, but man, I said, we don't like people to be touching us. Nigga, you can say what you want, man. But don't be touching us and we battle rapping, bro. Man, no, it was like that nigga, your fake ass watch. Nigga, what we gas change. And I'm like, yo, bro.
Yeah, niggas will fuck you up, so. Hit to calm down now a little bit.
Hit to calm down.
Like, niggas will fuck
but
you
I can't
up,
take what they be doing now.
I can't take that shit.
They get so disrespectful. That's the part. We didn't do that. We just tried to keep it skillful, but you know, make a long story short, man. Me and Proof,
I talking about your mama and shit and all that. Your dead mama.
Yeah, they do that. They out
beat
cold.
the shit out of nigga.
But me and Proof, we got real tight, man. That nigga ended up, he's like, man, you know, you ever been to the studio? I was like, hell no. He was like, man, I know the studio called Mo Master. I was like, for real? He like, man, we gonna go to Mo Master, man. It's only $7 an hour. So that weekend, I'm talking about, man, you talking about 2 high school niggas trying to come up with $21 so we can get 3 hours at Mo Master and gotta have our bus fare and shit. And shout out to Street Lord Wine, because Street Lord Wine, we always would be going to the studio, and one day Street Lord Wine, I always thought this nigga went to Osborne. He didn't even go there, man. He was like going to like a middle school, but he had a car. He would drive up there and he would be in there. And one day, man, that nigga gave Proof some money, probably like $100, man. So that weekend when we went to Mo Master, we had McDonald's and everything, dog. You know, we wasn't smoking weed or drinking or nothing back then.
That was that street lord shit. Early.
That's so funny, man. I produced half of Duck This at Mo Master.
Straight up,
man. 6 for me.
Man, Joe Kane still in contact with Mo Master. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out Joe Kane.
Shout out Joey Kane. That's my dude, man. What up, Joe Kane?
Yeah, Kane doing his thing. He keep reinventing himself.
He just dropped the album too, man.
I like how he moved. Yeah. But yeah, man, you know, that's my Proof story. You know, he took me up in Mo Master, you know, introduced me to a lot of the rap shit. I used to teach that nigga how to flip, teach that nigga how to, you know, do karate, cause he used to be like, man, listen, he saw me beat a nigga ass with some karate, and ever since then that nigga be like, man, teach me how to do that shit. So that was my nigga.
Yeah. What was it like on set, man? Just fucking with that 8 Mile shit.
Well, you know, I wasn't in the movie. We wasn't actually in the movie. See the movie. So that character is named based. And the reason we say that is
formed around who you are.
Yeah. Like we weren't actually in the movie. Now I actually did go to the movie to auditions. Right. I stood in line for hours.
There was a lot of people who had got cut that ain't make that shit that was there. I remember when all that shit was going on when they was filming it.
Listen, everybody who I was standing with, we all talking, we rapping, we standing in line for hours getting to know each other. But then Neezy, Beetle, and Cool, and Vic, they pulled up. They like, what's up, man? Man, you still out here, man? What's up? I said, man, you right, dog. Fuck this shit, bro. And I went and jumped in the van with them niggas and we went out, hanging out and shit. We went to Rouge Park that day. So when this year or so later, when the movie come out and I'm looking at everybody who I was standing in line with, I was like, God damn, I shouldn't even left.
Yep, standing in line.
Some of them niggas got some nice roles and, you know, some nice cameos in that boy.
Nice cameos, man. When my cousin bammed on my door and said that, man, he was like, nigga, Duck, you gotta see this movie, man. And I said, man, when I sat there, man, my whole family sat there and said, what the fuck? Why you ain't that playing? Why you ain't that? You know, I said, you know. And actually, my name was Papa Doc. See, my grandmother was Jamaican. So she named me after a Haitian Revolutionary warrior, Papa Doc. That was my name until I started walking. Then they cracked the joke and made it Duck. But it was Papa Doc.
Damn.
Square business.
That's what's up, man. Once again, man, these legendary stories right here on Slapz and Trapz Honest Conversation Podcast,
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen. You heard it first. Now, moving forward, fellas, I want to shift back towards to Crush a Flower, because like I said, man, it was such an incredible movie, man. I just got a whole page full of questions y'all can see, man. Before we even get on that, man, I want y'all to talk to me about some of the challenges y'all face making this movie, you know what I'm saying? And some of the politics of being an independent film director. Speak on it.
COVID was one.
Yeah, very challenging.
COVID was challenging because we could have been done with the damn movie, man.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If that didn't happen. But I'm glad that it did because we was able to take our time with it. We was able to develop these characters. We was able to see, especially to see these kids grow. And they not just little kids that's doing this shit. And you can see them as, you know, young adults understanding it and accepting it and dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? That was the beauty to me and the most challenging. But
you know, we had started having scheduling issues. It was due to me. Like they would be ready, but I would be booked up. I couldn't really stop and drop and do just focus completely on the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shit going on.
Yeah, and so like by the time we hooked back up again, you know, they wouldn't be as on fire, you know what I'm saying, as like as revved up. So we went through that, man, for a minute, you know, before we was able to shout out to Collective Thrones. Collective Throne came in, gave us a financial hand, and that financial hand let me be able to sit down and get straight focus on the movie without worrying about having to run around and take a job here and a job there and all that. Just focus directly on the project.
Shout out to them for that, man. Thank God for good people who believe in talent.
Yes, sir.
Now, what I wanted to ask y'all, man, what made you guys focus on the struggles of an inner city youth mixed with a little bit of racial tension? Cause that shit, man, I just can't get over that scene. You know what I'm saying? What's the white girl, like the white lady name?
Miss Edith.
Miss
Teresa Walker. Teresa
did. Talk about good acting, man. Shout out Miss Teresa Walker, man. God bless.
Teresa, she was. No, I can't do that.
Yeah, and that's one thing, man. They ain't one of that's
she
like
just say like straight out, like straight to it, and get your ass straight together. Man.
Hey, that's like the son. The son, Lamar, I've been seeing some crackhead niggas. Hey, man, he didn't want to say that.
No.
He did not want to say it.
They didn't. It was a fight. It was a challenge to get them comfortable enough to be around blacks and say it without any repercussions.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And I kept telling them, I said, listen, man, this is an art. You know what I'm saying? And I remember Dane even telling her, you know, saying, no, take that A off of that nigga. Put that ER on that.
That's
you gotta say
like
nigga.
We get called that shit by the police.
Yeah, you got to say it. You know what I mean when you say it. Even when she get in the conversation with the lady across the street, and I say when you walk off, say it under your breath.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let them know. You know what I'm saying? But then, because by the time we redeem that, you know, it'll touch their soul. You know, they have a better appreciation for you.
Did y'all get any backlash from that shit? So far, like from anybody who's seen the movie, just from her, you know, saying the
really.
nigga shit. No,
hey, look, that's Miss Edith.
Right now?
Yeah, that's her.
I mean, like currently?
Yeah.
Damn, she look young as hell.
She playing a whole character.
Yeah, she playing an old ass woman.
She ain't old.
Damn.
She ain't old worth a damn.
Yeah, she did her motherfucking thing. But once again, though, it goes back to what I mean about being a visionary, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the concept, that and shit. You had me thinking she was old. You know what I'm saying? So to see that, like, that's what I mean. Like, that's good writing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I told her, I said, I convinced her to do it. She was like, no, it just took a long time. And once I got her comfortable, and she did it on stage, because she did it in the play. Mm-hmm. And after she did that, she was like, how did I do? When I tell you they were standing on chairs, I had never seen people really. I did 7 plays at the time. I ain't never got no motherfucking flowers. People was coming up giving her flowers, man. My family was like, because during the intermission, they was wondering what happened to her. They was like, man, what happened to that bitch? That white bitch need, ooh, I hate that. Let her say nigga one more time. They ready to run up on stage. But when that end came, when she had parents, they was like, oh my God. They was in tears. They would say, this shit is unbelievable. And I said, this got to be the movie.
And that's a challenge in itself. Just think about that. To take most hated character, you know what I'm saying? Besides Jimmy, he made himself the most hated character. We found that out doing the premiere. But to take that woman who was like that, thinking like that, and then make people have compassion for her at the end
and love her.
That's a challenge. Yeah. And we did that.
Yeah, that brings me into my next question. Yes, speaking of that, man, what made y'all want to focus in on that specifically? You know what I'm saying?
What, racism?
Yeah, just that. You know what I'm saying? Just with her in the situation, just with Lil David. You know what I'm saying?
Karens. Every time you turn around, there's some white bitch fucking up somebody's barbecue. So just one white bitch, the time you can't even park here. Man, there was so much of that shit going on. Yeah. Even if you say Black Lives Matter. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. My life matter too. We're not saying it don't. Yeah. But y'all not going up under the scrutiny. Y'all not getting
killed the way we
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, please understand, we want to live too. You know what I'm saying? But then I kept thinking, but the beauty of so many of them that people don't even know. Like Miss Edith. You know? Like Miss Edith. If I can tell people how Miss Edith really was and how she turned out, you know? And each one of them that seen it, man, said, man, it was, like Dang say, man, it was the challenge of making you want to have some type of compassion for this woman, you know?
And the fact that it's based on a true story, once again, just makes the movie, like,
that's right,
30 times better for me on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? She played that role to a T, man. Now, let me ask y'all this, fellas. What made y'all want to focus in on how her behavior changed? It's one thing to pinpoint the racism and all that shit, but to show that you can change and to pinpoint that's good directing. You know what I'm saying? And good writing. You know?
And it's a true story, so you know what I mean?
The thing is we threw, Dane was like, when I told her what she actually did, and the idea started rolling. Well, we got to give her this. We got to show her this. We got to make sure she had this. We got to make sure, because that's not going to be enough to make me want to forgive this for her actions. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it more. So as he started, throwing ideas, and I come back a day or two later and say, man, this, how about this? Oh, yeah. The next evening, he said, man, we're going to add this. How about this? And then I'm thinking it's going to be different the way he showed it. You feel what I'm saying? You got to realize he behind the editing room. I don't know. We got the ideas, but when he brought it, man, I started crying, man. I said, man, I can't believe how you took that simple piece into a 2-minute segment and put it together. You feel what I'm saying? Now you making me want to cry.
Yeah, little Chris did his thing, man. Yeah, Once again, man, incredible acting.
Yeah, man. That was powerful, man.
Oh. Now, fellas, this next part is a 2-part question. You know what I'm saying? Now, I wanted to know, 1, what made you want to turn your story into a movie? And 2, were you emotional? You watching all this shit play out, man. I know you touched on it for a minute early when we first started the interview, but you sitting back watching all this shit play out. This is your life story we talk about. This ain't just a regular script that a nigga then wrote. This is your life story.
But see, this is just a piece of a moment that happened in my life. It ain't my life story. My life story, a motherfucker. This is only a portion of what happened.
Be telling me stuff. I be like, bro, Ain't no way in the world that shit happened. He like, yeah, I'm like, man, we got to shoot a movie about that shit.
This is just a portion, bro. Hear me? When I tell you that, this is a time that happened when I was 10 years old, man. Feel me? Yeah. And I'm just playing, I'm just stressed it a little bit by saying, you know, go to the gravesite still, but the gravesite really is me paying homage by refilming this and bringing it back to life that way. Yeah. That's just a summer. Yeah. This is a summer event that really happened, man. Yeah. But my life story is something that I got it on YouTube called "Mama's Boy: The Making of a Man," stage play. That's my life.
Y'all check that out.
That's my life right there, man.
You haven't already.
You get to see shit that, man, at 8 years old, man, my daddy had me breaking the house with him, steal 20 pounds from a nigga, man. And I climbed through the window to open up the door for him, nigga. And now that's my first B&E. Now I'm doing them. You feel what I'm saying? About shit. 8, I'm smoking. Shit, I'm smoking weed at 8. I sold weed from my mama at 11. Shit, by 15, man, I was smoking 51s. By 17, I was smoking
jumping off the porch. It was off the porch.
This shit's nothing, man.
Early as hell.
Hell yeah. I was in the penitentiary by 20.
Yeah.
I was a single father and shit.
You can just do movies and plays off your life story.
That's what I've been doing.
That's what it been like.
That's all I do. Just pick up part of my life. I want to talk
every
about
play
it.
is about his life.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Every play is about that, dog.
That's dope.
Every play I did is a portion of my life. When I did The Mailman, it was about the time my mama used to make us go get her mail early. The mailman meet him at his spot. When he get there, he give her a check. So by the time he come around by 2 o'clock, she done gave him some lemonade or she gave him some pops, some Pepsis and shit. And they sitting kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just told that story. That's all I'm doing is telling the events that happened in my life.
Well, keep that shit going, man. Cause shit, you got a fan like a motherfucker right here.
Thank you, brother.
Now let me ask you this, Doc, man. You don't have to speak on this shit if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? But talk to me about the struggle of having a mother, man, addicted to drugs.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. See, this, my mother was nothing from the movie. We had to fabricate the story of Belinda being pushed so. The narrative, how should she get off drugs?
Right.
Okay. My mama, she shot dope and everything, but we never seen her high, man.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. My mama never been on no corners. My mama never had to do shit. We kept a clean house. My mama schooled me about drugs and everything. Our house was a shooting gallery. You know, dope fiends coming in and out all day because that's how she made her money. She was the neighborhood RN.
Right.
You know, she could find a vein on a dope fiend when nobody could.
Right.
You know, but far as shit, now she said, if you see Mama's Boy: The Making of a Man, it's a scene in there. My mama said, listen here, nigga, you ain't never seen me sick. You ain't never seen me on 9 corner. Nigga, I don't even suck dick. And you can ask your goddamn father that, you know. And my mama was so down to earth and so real, nigga. She said, I don't play that shit. Because I kept getting in fights about her being a dope fiend. Yeah. My mama had the swole hands and shit, man. Yeah. So nigga called my mama dope fiend, you know, I'm boxing, you know.
Yeah, I seen it in the movie, Lil Chris piece. What? Bah!
Yeah, as soon as you say something about my mama, man, I'm scrapping. So she said, man, why you keep getting kicked out of school? And I said, because they keep calling you a dope fiend, mama.
Yeah, I do remember Belinda accent. Yeah.
But the way she just schooled me about that dope shit, man, I should have been rich with it, but shit. She said, anything you try, nigga, you gonna like it. And it started with the weed. Then it started with the liquor. Then it started with the motherfucking 51s. Then shit, nigga, I'm out here now. I'm robbing motherfuckers.
Now this next question, Duck, man, just on some funny shit. I just gotta ask you though, what made you step to her daddy like that?
Because the scene is you pushing it when
I'm like,
you hate it already, but when you had that daddy and son
she told the nigga to
altercation, but you know that daddy and son altercation, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have that
shit. I'm like, nigga, well,
you gotta have that. And I had to marinate that fake beer all day, you know what I'm saying? I kept acting like it was something in there because the whole thing is you got to see this bottle because I'm finna use this motherfucker.
You got to see it break on that head, and we had to really orchestrate.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, act like you doing it, but don't do it right. All right, act like you gonna do it again right here. Then when I got behind his head, I said, all right, man, you got to bust him. And I told, I said, man, you got to react, man, like, you know, and he did a good job. Especially when he turned around and grabbed this shit and was looking in the camera. That nigga was looking like, I'm finna kill this nigga, man.
And I always had a father and boyfriend altercation. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm not on channel with my own kids. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is this nigga? I'm chasing niggas out of my motherfucking house. You feel what I'm saying? But I said, man, that'll really make him, you know, that'll cut the ties with Belinda. You know, you hit my daddy with a goddamn bottle, you know.
And that leads me up into my next question, man. Now, what was it like once Jimmy cut ties with Belinda? You know what I'm saying? How did Jimmy feel once Jimmy cut ties with Belinda? He was like, damn.
I felt he was defeated. I felt like he was defeated when she said, nigga, I want my son. You know, fuck you. Yeah. And she no longer wanted that dope no more.
I'm like, damn.
Like, yeah, man. She felt defeated. Like, okay.
Like, we ain't got nothing coming no more. She don't want to get high.
Yeah, we do.
He's like, I'm not doing it, nigga. Damn. Now I want to ask you this, man. Now, what lesson would you say Jimmy learned throughout all of this shit? All of these things that happened, all of these different trials and tribulations, experience. What lesson did Jimmy walk away with?
I'm gonna say
or
none.
did he walk away
I'm gonna
with
say none.
None?
That nigga still went off just smoking in the sunset. That nigga went off to the sunset.
You see that nigga, he was real. That nigga raw. That nigga was in a restaurant like.
Yeah, go get high.
That nigga just did it right in front of her. That nigga like, I don't give a fuck, this our first day. You about to know about your
Do you think Jimmy got a chance to realize how he was destroying both himself and Belinda's lives? Because this is good writing.
I don't think so. You know, I don't think so because the motherfucker who turned me out on crack cocaine, man, I don't have no remorse about it. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? I was 15 years old, man. Yeah. You should never pass that motherfucker to me. I don't know what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know this kid don't know nothing about it. But you figure if I get this kid high, I can pinch off his pocket because I'm sitting in the spot too. So what you spend high, I buy one. For I know it, I'm spending all my money, nigga. We getting high for months. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man.
Talk to me about just dealing with that, Duck, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially so young. Man. You know what I'm saying? And having to just deal with all that shit. You know, like the pressure of it. You know
the thing is, man, my mama, man, and I tell you, man, she was a motherfucker, man. Even though I was smoking crack, I had my first apartment at 15, man. I had my own crib, man. You feel what I'm saying? By 17, I had my own house, man. Yeah. Even though I'm smoking crack. She said, nigga, it's called a controlled substance for a reason. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what I would do is take care of my business and then still be a kid, play football, play basketball, hang out with the fellas. And then when it's time to go in, because these niggas got curfews, I'm a grown nigga and I'm living my own shit. Now I'm going out here pistol packing, you know, trying to run up on something, man. And until it ran up on that time. Yeah. You know?
Damn, man. You all got an incredible story, man.
That shit
you know
crazy,
what I'm saying? Man, I just had a loss for words, man. Nah, just talk about your stepfather, man, and his role in your life for a minute, just growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not my real stepfather, man. You know, he ain't no Jimmy. That nigga, man, was the gangsters nigga I know. He was the Debo of our neighborhood, man. And that nigga he raised me to be a man. You know, he raised me to be a man. I remember one conversation my mama was having with me. She said, let me tell you something. She said, I don't give a fuck how fine a bitch is. You know what I'm saying? You look at a bitch feet. You know. Bitch shoes raggedy, don't you fuck with that bitch. Man, my daddy walked in and said, what the fuck you talking to a walking bitch for?
Wow.
What you doing talking to a bitch walking folk? Shit, man. He was the most, man. He was a real gangster, man.
And the stories that he used to be telling me about that shit, man, that was the ones I'm like, yo. Them the movies that got it made.
Shit was hard. Like niggas was hard.
He was hard, man. He wasn't no motherfucker.
None of that sucker shit going on.
I came in the crib looking like Turbo, man. That nigga clowned the shit out of me. He said, baby, come here. Look at this motherfucker. He got his hair all in his motherfucking face and shit looking like a bitch. Nigga, you got an earring here. Who told you? Nigga, I got a loop in it. What the fuck you wearing a loop with a kick? Nigga, you take that shit out. Baby, come here. This nigga got some baggy red pants. Nigga, bitches wear hot pants, nigga. Take the motherfuckers off, nigga. Punk ass nigga.
He was giving you the game though, at the same time. It was
like nigga looking like a bitch.
You walking in, you thinking you sweet as hell.
Listen, I had the spikes.
Your whole shit
I had the spikes and shit. I had the spike around my neck and shit. Niggas saying, man, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, that nigga shut that shit down.
Say, who in the hell you? Take that shit off, man. We had to cut my hair and shit. Cut the little Jerry curl out, my shit, little S curl out.
Hell so let me ask you this, man. Now that you older, do you look at shit like that? Like he was giving you the game, even though it was tough love, you know what I'm saying? But he really was schooling you and giving you the game. You know what I'm saying?
When I was younger, man, yeah, of course I resented that shit, man. But before he died, man, he became one of the greatest grandfathers that a man can ask for, man. He was there for his grandkids. He came, got my sons every weekend, man. He was putting game on them. You know what I'm saying? And I said, man, y'all soak it up. Because by that time, I had really had a love for him that I just didn't realize that I had, you know.
Mm-hmm. It be like that, you know what I'm saying? That's how it was.
Because when he died, man, I cried harder than anything. I hated to see him leave me at this time when we had just got so close. Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Real close, man. Because I was like, man, I was like, Daddy, remember that time you told me this, man? And I took that shit to heart because he was like, man, when you walk the motherfucking streets, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You represent me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was no bitch. He was breaking your house and wear your shit outside. You know what I'm saying? He that type of nigga.
Don't give a fuck.
Hell no, man.
Right here in Detroit, nigga, the type of shit my niggas go up
and
around.
And nigga looking like, man, my motherfucking flip-flops that nigga got on.
Oh, nigga, that nigga wearing the motherfucking button-ups too damn small and tight because he got this he all swole in this nigga tight ass shit, man. Nigga,
that shit crazy, dog.
Shit, I ain't bullshit.
Nigga, I take your shit and sport it.
And wear it outside, nigga.
Yeah, real
funny, dog.
Nigga. Well, fellas, man, bring me to my last few questions, man. We can wrap up. Once again, I want to thank y'all for pulling up to the Slap Factory.
Hey, yeah, man. Thanks for bringing us on, man.
Yes. Appreciate y'all time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all story is very important. And like I said earlier, this is a platform for the OGs. That's why I wanted y'all to take that time, you know what I'm saying, to go exclusively in the details so people understand this shit. You know, niggas love this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is a question for y'all, too, on some industry shit, man. I want to know, like, what would y'all say is the difference between the music and the film industry? Or is it a difference?
Well, yeah, it's a difference between the music and the film industry. It definitely is. It's different players. See, the music industry right now, I'm not all the way still really familiar with. I really, the reason what keep me still grounded in the music is cats who come to me
to direct the video. I'm
not just out listening to Chief Keef and NBA Youngboy and whoever people listening to these days. I just don't rock with it no more. I don't know if I just grew out of it or what. You know, I do the music videos. I love to stay connected to with my people who actually doing the art they sell, but with the film stuff, man, I feel like the film stuff done shifted from where Hollywood had their hand locked on it to now they don't. So now, I mean, in that aspect of the music, how the music business did that, it did do that because, you know, once upon a time, everybody was looking for a deal. Until this now, we got our own studios, we got our own manufacturing to get it manufactured. We can go out here and do this shit now with the with the internet, you don't need nobody trucks, planes, or automobiles. So you
just out the middleman with the internet. You know
so the movies
saying?
business getting like that. I know dudes who don't got distributors. After you put 6 movies out, you become what they call an arbitrator or some shit. I don't know the word, but you can just take your own movies to the networks yourself. You are a distributor.
You are a distributor.
You know, so
yeah.
It's like in that aspect, it is changed. It is similar because the independent game, has kind of, but one thing about
How
that
y'all
movie.
feel about the independent game right now? You know what I'm saying? With the rise of Tubi, we was talking about it earlier off camera, just the rise of Tubi.
Man,
being able to do your thing like that.
You're a fair game, fair platform.
I feel like Detroit put Tubi on the map.
We did.
It was so many niggas in it when that shit was first taking off. I mean, every other day at Detroit.
My boy called me from Dubai. My boy Ben Robinson, peace to man. He called me from Dubai, and he was with Ice-T and Trapz. And he said all that they was talking about was Detroit and Tubi and how the Detroit got that shit on lock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the new Motown.
People was dropping the movies. And you got some movies on there, man, that's just like really crazy, horrible. But the fact that the people get to put their shit on there is, to me, that's the good part. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes, man, becoming millionaires off these Tubi movies, man. Eating good. Actors who known now commanding a fee to be featured in your movie because they are known now. You know what I'm saying? Even peace to my boy Diesel, Kamal. We were just talking about him. Charlie Langston gonna try to name drop. You guys know Diesel? Yeah, we know Diesel.
My Trey brothers,
my dude.
Yeah, man.
Well,
for sure, man. Shout out Diesel. What up, dog?
But that was a nice experience we had up there at the news, man. That was our first time, going on there like that. Was that your first time going on there?
Yeah, that
was my first time going on there. So,
what was that like? Talking about that good interview, man. Just making it to Fox 2, period. Not on, just getting good feedback from the movie. Because everywhere I went, like I told y'all earlier, man, nobody said nothing negative about this shit.
That's one of the moments, man, I'd like to look in the camera and say, Mama made it.
Right. And getting your flowers while you still alive to see them, too. It's a whole other thing. That's what we like to highlight on this platform.
And see, I'm not saying, when I say make it, we made it. We made the story. We made, the platform. We made the interviews. We made the trailers. We made the premieres. We made it, to the point where everybody's appreciating the product when it's done. We made all the chemistry.
Let me give you a quick story about the premiere. So, at the premiere, what's Melvin Van Peebles, Mario Van Peebles' daddy? The movie he made about his daddy.
Badass. Oh, the Mario made about his daddy?
Mario made the movie about his daddy. And where Bill Cosby had to give you some money to complete the movie, everybody was quitting. The editor quit.
Oh, talking about Badass. That was
he made Mario Van Peebles do a sex scene or some shit. A shirt off.
Badass.
Listen, that movie almost reminded me of Our Night because at the end of that movie, my man, he went through hell getting his movie made, and then he looked up. He was getting little bad reviews and stuff like people talking shit, but he looked up, man. And he released it in New York and in Detroit. That nigga looked up, man, line was wrapped around the motherfucking corner for his movie. And so I had a moment like that because at the Senate Theater where we had it, people supposed to pull around into the parking lot. So we in the back. So I'm looking out the back knowing shit, damn.
I ain't saying
nobody was pulling up in the parking lot. Then my Uncle Jeffrey, he called me. He like, where I supposed to park? I said, man, pull around to the lot. So when he pulled around, I see him. I go out there with him. I said, you still got to go through the front, though, Unc. He was like, all right. I said, come on, I'll walk around there with you. So we walking around and shit. And I'm kind of disappointed because it's damn near showtime, and I'm looking at this parking lot fucking empty. I get around there, man. But before we can even get around there, I see people like around the corner part. And I'm like, I ain't really studying. I'm just walking with Unc, and I'm just about to feel like I'm about to have a disappointing night, dog. Because we didn't know. We motherfucking actors, disrespect to them, but a lot of our actors who we gave the tickets to, man, they was bringing them tickets back. Like, hey, I could only sell this many. Couldn't sell the rest, So I'm like, man, this shit probably ain't finna do what we think. Man, when I got around that corner with my uncle dog and I seen that line of people, that long ass line of people,
around the corner, man.
Bro, I was like around the corner. I was like, so people was parking across the street in this big ass field over there. They like fuck the parking lot. They just pulling in the field. Man, not only was I impressed by how they showed up, man, motherfuckers came with their Sunday best on.
Yeah, so
if you go and look at the video recap that we did, you're gonna see people in there of all ages. From the old to the young. Everybody in their Sunday best.
Man, this is a special moment. You know, y'all put y'all all into this shit.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't crush the flower. I feel like I'm barely holding on. Feel trapped in this life where love is foreign. Just trying to survive what I'm never knowing. My mother, my father, they keep ignoring the fact that I'm here and deserve a chance. Despite everything in my circumstance, I'm doing my best, but this life is hard. My grandma told me I should pray to God. I know a new day is in front of me. Despite everything that they done to me, they bully, they constantly come for me. But I cannot run I'ma keep fighting this. Just 13, got big dreams, and I'ma see them through. Wise words are lying through my mind. Only God knows I just need some time. I know this ain't normal, the way you stay long gone. The streets got a hold on you, but just please come home, mama. I need you in my life. Turn darkness into life. You can't imagine what I've been through. We can't grow strong unless we fight. Don't crush the flower. I will hold on. I will survive. I won't give up my life. I will survive. Seem like every day they try to find another way to tell a lie. Another try, same thing, same pain. Don't that make you insane? Just another link on the chain. Gang, 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 gang. I done thought about it, what you think about it? Maybe I go to college, be a ball player, go and get a trade, maybe I cut hair. All I know is deep down my heart pump fear. And I ain't never seen my father for another year. My mother might as well go ahead and disappear. She love that cocaine more than she love me. My daddy probably on the run from the police. This is not made up, this is not fiction. What I need more, what I want for, not a metaphor, just a real thing from a young king, trying to navigate life in a small frame. You should never take for granted what a life means. Turn darkness into life. You can't imagine what I've been through. We can't grow strong unless we fight. Don't crush the flower. I will hold on, hold on. I will survive. I won't give up my life. I will survive.
And so this is the part that was like, when it came showtime, right? Me and Duck, we set up in a sound control thing, right? And so, you know, now through this movie, me and this nigga, you know, this our baby. We bumping
Chopping
heads,
up, shooting the shit.
we not agreeing with each other. I'm like, man, that shit gonna be corny, man. Yeah. No, he like, no, dang, we got to do that. Same with me. He like, man, you know, you taking away from the eye. Yeah. I like, man, come on,
this
trust
shit
me with
gonna
this
happen,
shit.
man.
You know,
when y'all visionaries, you know what I'm saying.
Man.
So to sit in the sound thing and got the 750 seater theater,
It's 850.
I thought it was.
It's 850.
So for us to see this theater,
hell yeah,
full house,
standing room
all
only.
these people, and to see them reacting to each scene, that shit was golden. And like every time it'll be a scene that I didn't agree with that he said we should put, and they grow crazy over it, that nigga look at me like, I'm like, okay, you got it. The same with me. It'll be a scene I like man, like
I see. I'm glad I listened.
That was
people not gonna lie to you. See,
that was when I knew
responses. You know what I'm saying?
That was when I knew for sure we had something because it was it the day before that we did the day before we did the premiere. Like I said, the way that it was in the sound man how he responded to it, but it was that day. When all them people sat in that theater and responded to each and everything that we put this thought and this time to make it be on the screen like that, man, that shit was like.
How did he show it? Y'all gave him the file?
Oh, we was at the movie theater. Yeah, 850 theater. Yeah. So people was in asses in seats.
Yeah, they was in seats.
$35 a seat. They came.
That's beautiful, man.
They came, man. And so we wasn't selling as many as tickets as people who was
Black excellence, man. We appreciate y'all.
We had the marquee, so people just riding down Michigan Ave like, oh shit, okay, they got the
radio worked.
Radio. Shout out to Angie Starr and Mason. Angie Starr, she hosted.
Yep, Angie hosted it.
Yep.
Damn. The Queen came through for us.
That's all right,
man. It was a so it take a minute to get on Tubi or to get your district because you got to go through a whole quality control
go through a process.
You got to go through a lot of stuff, and then they let you know, okay, now we still even though you gave us everything that we require, we still got to wait until like these months because they will be accepting the new movies at this time. So, but when we got on,
protocol to follow.
As soon as we got on, man, it just started doing good, you know what I mean? And so we just want to keep that momentum going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, moving forward, fellas, man, I want to wrap it up. Like I said, thank you for y'all time, man. Anything y'all want to tell the people before y'all get up out of here? I know y'all mentioned Cloud9, man. Let's talk about it real quick as much as we can without spoiling it for everybody and giving it away. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a part 2 to Crush a Flower. So I'm going to leave it right there.
Well, there you have it, man.
But please go see To Crush a Flower.
Go see the Crush a Flower.
Go see To Crush a Flower on Tubi.
Yes, sir.
Right now,
my guy.
Well, thank you, fellas, man. OG, Papa Duck.
Thank you, Pepper.
Boodang, my motherfucking greatest video director, movie director, nigga on the planet.
And guess what?
Nigga. And guess what?
And we working next week.
Yeah. And we from Detroit, nigga. And just so happen to be at a time where Detroit is on fire. So real quick before y'all get up out of here, man, how y'all feel about Detroit just being on fire right now?
I love
whether it be the music, whether it be the movie.
Listen, I love the movement
Beach
now.
just came home, you know what I'm saying?
I love the movement now.
Shit going on, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I noticed? When I be looking at all the different stuff like on YouTube, man, we get mentioned so much.
Oh, yeah.
They love us.
Every day.
They mention us all the time, so I love it.
I do too. I mean, I love the city, period, man.
Yeah.
If I leave and go to California longer than 2 weeks, man, I get homesick. That's the truth. I got to roll, Pepper.
Yeah.
I got no people.
I do.
Oh boy, Slapz and Trapz. Yes, sir. Radio podcast. See Austin, I see you, baby. With the Slap Guy. We up in here now. See Austin, the DJs. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm juan-o. The greatest show on earth. Check it. Word to the Slap Guy, let's talk. Spend about an hour to compress thought. An honest conversation with C. Austin. Subscribe for the updates, it will be often. With an ear to the street, kicking that street dung with a clear tongue. Is it clear to my peach? Good, we can proceed. The guests on this podcast, nothing but some G's. Smash that subscribe button, that's what it's used for. Ring that bell like you just sold a used car. Slapz and Trapz, radio podcast. Don't compare us to the rest. We a contract.
Slapz and Trapz Radio.
Slapz and Trapz Radio.
Slapz and Trapz Radio, Volume 1. The compilation album presented by C. Austin. Available right now on all streaming platforms everywhere.